In the morning, when the first rays of the rising sun touch the fortress and the roofs and towers of the old city, Salzburg shows itself from its most beautiful side. Once in a letter, Alexander von Humboldt did not unjustly call Mozart's hometown one of the world's most beautiful cities, together with Naples and Constantinople. The fortress Hohen Salzburg proudly reigns high above the city. Austria's most significant fortification dates back to the 11th century. The fortress was built to protect Salzburg's Prince Archbishop from the state's aspiration for freedom, to be a stronghold against the revolting citizens and peasants. At that time, the fortress was an independent economic unit that had its own water supply, breweries, mills and stables. Especially fascinating, the last preserved organ from Gothic times, the so-called Salzburg bull. The organ got its nickname from the loud chords played at both ends of the chorale. Chords that decidedly recall the cry of a bull. The organ, well advanced in years, sounds a bit age-worn today. In former times, though, it was used to give signals down to the city, to indicate, for example, the opening or closing of the city gates. The visitor to the fortress Hohen Salzburg also becomes acquainted with the lifestyle of Salzburg's sovereigns. In 1502, Archbishop Leonhard von Keutschach had his chambers furnished with hundreds of gilded buttons on the ceiling, as nobody was allowed then to be as near to the sky as the Archbishop himself. This tiled stove is a masterpiece of the late Gothic. It shows Leonhard von Keutschach and Saint Rupert, the founder of Christian Salzburg. Here in a corner the potter immortalized himself, that is in due order, as it had taken him no less than 30 years to create this superb specimen. Even if the fortress was considered to be invincible at the time, today it's easy accessible by funicular. Back down in the old city, we are facing another distinctive sign of Salzburg. The Glockenspiel. In 1696, Archbishop Johann Ernst von Thun ordered it from Antwerpen, and since then the 35 bells resound 3 times a day, at 7 and at 11 o'clock in the morning and at 6 o'clock in the evening, thus marking the hours of the meals in Old Salzburg. Let's go for a walk now through Salzburg's old city. The so-called Pferdeschwemme at the bottom of the Mönchsberg reminds us of the bishop's stables. The former home of some 150 horses now houses the large festival hall. Getreidegasse. Most of the houses here have kept their ancient character. At number 9, Wolfgang Amadeus Mozart was born. All Salzburgers know his birth date by heart, the 27th of January 1756. In Getreidegasse we also admire the old guild signs, manufactured between the 16th and the 19th centuries. Now we reached the site of the old market and one of Salzburg's oldest coffee houses as well. The cathedral marks the center of the old city. It was consecrated in 1628. But Salzburg is not only the vivacious town with its hustle-bustle. Salzburg also is a city of monasteries. The monastery of St. Peter, for example, it's the oldest Benedictine abbey in German-speaking countries. The monastery gardens and the cloisters are not open to the public, however. The origins of the impressive cemetery of St. Peter's reach back to late Roman times. A rare object is this grave of a stonemason who survived his 7 wives. The oldest nunnery in Middle Europe, the Nonnberg Priory. Today, 30 nuns live here, having hardly any contact with the outer world and leading a strictly monastic life. Also, this side of Salzburg remains concealed to the visitor. Of extraordinary beauty, the Kapitelsaal of the convent. Till today, messages are passed on by bell signals. Back to more profane amusements. On special occasions, the brass bands march up. There are more than 140 of them altogether in the province of Salzburg. Bräustübel next to the Müllen Church is a popular meeting place for natives and tourists alike. On the opposite bank of the river Salzach, the Mirabell Palace is situated amidst lovely gardens. Its foundations date back to 1606. Prince Archbishop Wolf Dietrich built it for his mistress Salome Alt. Today the palace is the seat of Salzburg's municipality. The Marble Hall often is called the most beautiful marriage room in the world, and every year couples from all over the world say yes to each other in these rooms. The Mirabell Garden is probably Salzburg's most gorgeous public garden. By the way, about 250,000 flowers and ornamental plants are used every year for the decoration of Salzburg's gardens. On the opposite side of the fortress, in the south of Salzburg, we find Leopoldskron, situated in front of a quiet and rather idyllic pond. It was once owned by Max Reinhardt, who contributed a lot to the good condition of the Rococo palace of today. A little bit further to the south, Hellbrunn. In the gardens of the 17th century hunting lodge, Prince Archbishop Marcus Sitticus came up with numerous damp and cold surprises for his hunting parties, the so-called Wasserspiele. Here everything is operated by water. Water power drives, for instance, these bird songs in the Neptune Grotto. Water operated as well these 250 wooden carved figures, a mechanical theatre which was created by a miner from nearby Dürnberg, the site of the ancient salt mines. After sunset, Salzburg becomes a town of lights. After an evening stroll through illuminated streets and squares, it's a good idea to climb one of the city hills. The view rewards the visitor with impressions that should last for a long time.